You only have one life, that you're not promised tomorrow. Hi there, my name is Joe.
And I'm Jessica.
We are homeschooling, natural living entrepreneurs.
This is a story of how we balance it all for the freedom to live our lives devoted to our family and faith.
Thanks for stopping by, subscribe, and come on in. I've been thinking about making this video for over a week now, and I've had all these ideas about how to do it, what to say, and it's been keeping me up at night. You know, it's a hard day. The older I get, the older my kids get, it makes it harder, and I may cry just talking about it. It's about this time 12 years ago, my dad was having a heart attack in an emergency room. What little did I know that it was going to kill him. So I want to talk to you about life, about something I call the 4 burners theory, and why I've really started taking my health so seriously. And I know I'm hitting you kind of heavy right out the gate, but it's important to me, and I believe if you sit back and think about it, it'll be important to you too. So it was 12 years ago, and I was at work. I was working for HMS Host at the Little Rock National Airport, managing several restaurants that they had there. And I'll never forget, I was in Starbucks, one of the stores that I managed, and I got a call from my boss. And I don't know, in the hysteria, I don't know if he said your mom's here, your dad's here. I think he just said there's somebody's here to see you. And I don't know why, it's just in that moment, I'm like, somebody died. And I remember they were at the restaurant that was before security. So I remember I had to walk down the tarmac, not the tarmac, but the long hall with all of the gates that people would board their planes on. And it was a long walk. And I just remember, like, somebody died. I don't know if it was, just had anything like my mom died or my dad died. I didn't know who. I just had that feeling somebody died. So I walked through, it was called the River Bend Restaurant. And I walked through the doors and into the kitchen and into the office, and there's my mom standing there. And the look that she had confirmed, like, my dad's dead. He was 54. 54 when he died. As I get older and, my 20s and, my 30s, started to have kids, and it's like when I was going through it, it didn't really change me that much. I was sad. I missed my dad. Holidays would come and go. And around holidays, I would think about him and I would miss him. Then I had kids. And now it's like a constant reminder and a motivator is that every time I see my kids, a milestone moment, we get together, they're doing stuff, I'm like, my dad never seen this. He loved kids, but he never got to love my kids. So here I am, I'm almost 40, I'll be 40 in 8 days, next Thursday. You know, Jolene will be 8 at the end of the month. Lucas is 2 now. And I keep going through this process of, you know, what's it going to be like when they're 30? Like, how old am I going to be? Am I even going to be here? Am I going to, you know, let my health get the best of me and ignore it and get large and overweight, get diabetes or heart disease and not even experience their 20s? Like, am I even going to live to see Lucas be a teenager? It's the stuff that I think about. So what is the 4 burners theory, you're probably asking? And it's later in the day. I got busy, was a little emotional earlier, so I thought I would wait until now. But 4 burners, let's dive in. I'm gonna need you to use your imagination just a little bit because my little electric stove diagram just doesn't do it justice. So imagine you have a stove, it's got gas burners on it, and it's got 4 burners, and that this is your life, the 4 main areas of your life. And I believe all of these things that you do in life can be lumped into these 4 burners. You have work. If you're a reseller, then you have your reselling business. If you're full-time, what have you, your normal 9-to-5 job, all those things work. Then you have family. You have your family burner. Then you have your friends burner, and then your health burner. And like I said, I believe your whole life, hobbies could go into health because it's part of your mental health. It could even go into friends if you do things with hobbies, with your friends, all of those things. So the 4 burners theory states is that if you're gonna be successful in life, that you're probably gonna have to, for periods of time in your life, that you're gonna have to ignore one of those burners. And I'm not talking about all the time, but if you're gonna be successful, there's gonna be good periods, seasons of life where you're gonna be ignoring one of those burners. And it may be different burners at different times, but in order to have the energy, time, all that to be able to focus on becoming successful in work, you've got to ignore one of those burners. It could be your family, that you could be married, you could have kids, and you just not giving your spouse the attention that they deserve. You're not spending time with your kids and helping build the relationships with them like they're going to want. And if you're ignoring your family when you get older in life, you will probably regret not spending more time with your family. You have your health that you may be ignoring, not just your physical health, but your mental health, that you're stressed out because of all the work, you're filling the pool of trying to spend time with family and friends, and you just ignore your health, and you self-medicate, you veg out and watch a lot of TV, or you drink a lot, you do drugs. All those things actually cause you to have bad mental health, or your physical health. You stress eat, like I would stress eat, stress drink, not go for the healthy food, but go for that pizza after a long, hard day. Just ignore health. you just ignore one of those, right? And then they say if you're gonna be uber successful, you're gonna make big changes in life, you're gonna do something, according to the American dream, that you're gonna have to ignore 2 burners for vast periods of your adult life, those prime years, that you're gonna have to ignore your family and your health, or your friends and your health, or your friends and your family. You're just gonna focus on your health and your work. You know, you got people like Elon Musk, very successful as the world says, billionaire, does lots of cutting edge things in the science industry, that he admits that he works over 100 hours a week, and he, in order to spend time with the kids but still work, that he answers emails and such while he's with his kids. That Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart, he ignored his friends and family, and he would spend a lot of time hunting and working. So yes, those are very successful people, but it's the world's definition of what success is. And we're not bound to that. Like, we aren't bound to what the American dream, what the system says success is that your success, our success, in my opinion, is determined by the life that you want to live and how close you are to able to achieve living that life. So we're the family flips. You know, Jessica and I, very early on, when we were married, that we decided, you know, I was a reseller before we got married, then she got married, and I sold her on this idea of freedom from time, living a simple life, not having a whole bunch of stuff, still being able to afford things, but not having the new house, the new car, all the new clothes, all that new stuff that requires money, that makes you have to work so much more and stresses you out and does all those things to your burners of life. But also, like, my dad died when he was 54 years old, as I told you earlier, that when I look back at my time with him, you know, yes, I remember, you know, the Reebok pumps that he bought me, that I wanted, that he worked hard for. Like, my mom and dad, they worked 2 jobs a lot during life. In my first part of life, my mom didn't work. It was just my dad working. We didn't have a lot of money. As we got older, you know, my mom started working. They had 2 jobs. I remember them going and cleaning office buildings. They owned a laundromat for a period of time, but they worked hard to give us stuff. I remember wanting the Nintendo. If you're an 80s baby, you're gonna know the Reebok pumps and the Nintendos. That I wanted it, my dad bought it, right? That during that time, that was a lot of money to go buy a Nintendo and Reebok pumps. But what I cherished the most, looking back at the time that I had, like, I regret and I miss, like, I regret, because there's times when I was a young adult that I didn't hang out with him. I didn't hang out with my family because I ignored my family, because that's what I thought you did. You be successful, you work hard, you get nice things, and that's what I thought you did. That's what I thought success was. But as I started to have kids, and I look back and like, man, like, my dad, like, I miss my dad. I miss those times that we went camping, those memories that we made doing those things. And I realized that, man, like, he can't experience that with my kids. And I want that with my grandkids. Like, I want my kids. I want to have relationships with them for a long time. I want to be able to have relationships with their kids. So I realized that, you know, I ignore health. When I first come across this 4 burners theory, it was around this time last year probably, I realized, man, Joe, you ignore your health. Like, you ignore your family, you ignore during different periods your friends, and you ignore your health. Like, I was never really physically fit. I drank a lot. I played video games a lot. I ate like crap. And that I self-medicate a lot with that, like with those things. So I found myself, as Jessica and I were married, we're building this business, we're building this family that we want, this lifestyle I want. I ignored my health. But then I realized that, man, I'm ignoring the one thing that is actually going to allow me to be able to create the lifestyle that I want long term. That if I want to live into my 60s, 70s, or 80s, that I can't ignore my health anymore, which is why now, like, I'm in CrossFit, I'm going to physical therapy so that I could be more physically fit. I'm doing all those things. So, and I'm talking a lot. And I think if I was to invoke any type of thing in you, is just, what is the lifestyle that you want? Are you willing to sacrifice your family to pursue after the work or the things? Are you willing to sacrifice your health to pursue these things that you think that you want, that you think that your family wants? Like, really just sit back and think about it. I know we have a lot of men that watch the channel, a lot of men in my age, and you have the time now to really think about what it is that you want in life. That when you look back and you're on your deathbed, you have to look back and realize and think, like, did I do enough? Did I spend as much time with my family as I liked? Or did I spend too much time? Desi's got one of my shoes. No, Desi. Did I spend too much time ignoring them to pursue after a job, to have the nice things that in the end my kids didn't even appreciate and they took for granted? So I think if I was to leave you with one thing, it would just be to, like, look at your life, look at your why, look at what you're doing, the lifestyle that you're living. Is it creating the long-term idea of life that you want, or is it taking away from it? You only have one life, that you're not promised tomorrow. That, like my dad woke up on a Tuesday, he went to work, wasn't feeling well. He told his boss that he was going to the emergency room, and he died less than 2 hours later. You never know. You never know when your time is up. My dad ignored his health. So I'm not saying to do whatever, just saying, look at your life, look at what you're doing, look at your choices. Is it lining up with the life that you want? And if it's not, you have the power to change it today. So that's it. I rambled. I hope it made some sense. I appreciate you guys. Until next time, peace.